When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Steven at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Steven.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd. Hear me out, Rich Latta. What's going on, y'all?
Not much, man. Just another week closer to my birthday, April 9th, coming up. If you guys would like to ensure I have a wonderful birthday as I creep closer toward death, buy some merch, do some donations, whatever you want to do. So with you, James?
Nothing. You just sound very, very positive. Coming up, what? We're like 10 days from your birthday, and you saying shit like this. Jesus.
It's like, damn, had to start thinking about, going to, making sure all my bodily functions still work the correct way.
I don't think you really had
to get checked.
I think you have to do the checkups more regularly once you get to 40, but yeah. Like 35 was like, yeah, man, just don't be out here trying to play basketball like that.
Yeah. I might have played my last basketball game like on the boat, whatever.
You played on the boat? I had no idea.
I got a medal for it. I got a medal for it.
You got a medal on the boat?
Yeah, I got a couple medals on the boat.
What was okay? All right, man. Let's backtrack. All right, for those that Rich went on a cruise to Cozumel. What was this, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
It was in August actually last year.
Oh shit, it was way longer than that. I'm trying to. Okay, I don't know. You know what it was? Why I got the time mixed up? Because like I finally wore the shirt you got me, the luchador shirt you got me. I wore it to the gym like a month or so ago. So I guess maybe I just slipped my mind. But yeah, man. So on the boat, you got a medal for like, was it like a gold medal round? Like what was that?
Yeah. They gave out like quote unquote gold. So look, they gave out like first, second, and third. Like they were having like we were playing 3-on-3 and all that, right? And then like the director basically came over and stopped the game essentially and was like, we about to do like a shooting contest or whatever. I was like, all right. So like they had it where you had to hit like a free throw and then go free throw line extended to the right and then the left, and then like you had
like the elbow or the wing or the wing three.
Like the elbow pretty much.
Okay.
So like they were like, yeah, you have 60 seconds to make as many shots as possible. And I think I went last, if I'm not mistaken, like in the thing. And I ended up winning or whatever.
Okay.
And I got a medal. I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. I wore it the day you actually see the clips that I cut. I wore it on the show or whatever. I was wearing it or whatever. And we talked about it a little bit, but
I guess I forgot this. Oh, man.
So, the jumper's the last thing to go into passing. So,
I can't say that for me. Like, if I don't keep it, like, I haven't touched a basketball since the pandemic, right? Or maybe I dribbled like once or twice. But I can tell you this right now. Historically with me, the jumper goes quick. I forgot, like, I'm not a good natural shooter. I had to, like, be on my shooting to actually, like, be decent at it. And I only ever got decent at it when I was in high school. So yeah, man, that shit is, So maybe it's for you, not for me. Not for me. Like, the handle, passing, I can get that back in a week. The shooting, it's tough. That's tough. I get my timing back in like 1 week.
You gotta be open.
I get everything back in 1 week except for shooting.
You just gotta be open. Like, it's like, all right, can I get away from somebody? Can I slap their head? Can I use mischief?
Like, that's the main thing. Like, when you play pickup, is like you realize, like, motherfuckers they just out here, they don't think at all about the game. They just out here running up and down.
They don't mind the game, James? That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying they don't mind the game, but they be out here just like, they don't realize, like when I'm a good passer. So, like, the thing for me is, like, when motherfuckers don't realize they're open, they just running back.
Like, get your hands up, son.
Or like people where it's like, all right, like, someone's guarding you and, like, you can immediately, like, they're just ball watching all the time and you're like, oh, I'll just back cut them the whole game. And then they get ran off the court and they be like, I don't know what happened. They don't pick up on it. Like, you back cut them like three times in 5 trips and they don't ever pick it up. They don't even at least go to face guard or no, they just like, oh, no adjustment being made. It's so, you play with some people, it's like, yo, they don't even, you don't know how to position yourself to where, like, put your body between, like, where the ball is, the hoop is, you don't know. Okay, all right, you just out here just going up and down. But anyway, so you won gold. You won the gold medal.
I did
on the cruise ship. And
it was like within like it was like within like the first like 2 hours I was on the boat too. I just like was walking around. And I was like, oh, it's a hoop. There's a court up here.
This man said, before we get out to deep sea, do you have a basketball hoop?
Yes. And like, I don't know if I had slides. No, there was no way I had slides on. No, I didn't have slides. I had the New Balances on, but like them New Balances ain't exactly made for running. They're more for like style or whatever. It's like the XC72s. Look those up if y'all know what I'm talking about. Them is not really them like the joints that you see like the rappers wearing and shit. It's like you ain't supposed to be moving side to side in them shits. They got like the big
so the
like,
ones that basically almost like the Nike Cortez / Reebok Classic versions of New Balances.
No, I have to show you.
Okay.
They're more like, they look kind of like those Balenciagas actually. The big colorful ones or whatever.
Okay.
But I was wearing those and I was like, it ain't gonna be too much of this all this shuffling, but it was cool. But I actually had a good story from Taekwondo tonight. So I was working with my young boy Noah. Is
Noah the one who you socked in the nose?
Teenager. Different one. Oh, he was he's actually a kid that listens. So it was pretty cool with him. So I got to put on the you ever see Taekwondo now? They have the big vests and shit that they have now that you got to tie up around, and it's basically like you got to tie
for protection
all the way in the back. Yeah, for the chest, like the chest protector.
Yeah. I had all that shit back when I was a kid. Yeah.
So this is the first time I ever like had any of those or whatever, because like when I was a kid doing it, it was like, nah, man, just get your hands up, son. Like that's that's it. But so like it was pretty cool. We did some stuff. Put that joint on today, but besides that, pretty standard. Nothing too exciting, but I had the headgear on too with the face mask and shit, bro. That shit is like, when you're behind that thing, it's like, it feels so weird because I'm not used to it. So I'm gonna have to get used to it. So Rich Takahashi over here. I don't know what that means, sir.
Maybe there's some like K1 fighter or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, so Where do you want to start?
Let's do it, man. Oh, man. Nanai Takahashi. Richard Youngboy Noah winning the fight against Willie. Yeah, it's funny because he like orange belt too. I can tell he kind of like takes cues from me, so it's pretty cool. But we should start with talking about essentially like the new signings in AEW and departure that we got. We actually should probably start with the departure. We should go with that. So Saraya apparently has wrapped up with AEW. She had done like a re-signing, I want to say. I don't know, towards the end of last year. And at that time, I was kind of like, huh? But she never even ended up appearing. And, this coincides with the release of her book. That's out now, so everyone go pick up Saraya's book before, I start, talking about her contributions to All Elite Wrestling. So I think aside from CM Punk, who was a disaster in a different way, Saraya may have been the worst dollar for value contract in AEW ever. Like, you look at that production, like this is like signing like Manny Ramirez post 2008 on your team or whatever for like the Rays, or like 2009 for like the Rays or something. It's like a baseball player you're like, yeah, I don't even know why they signed them. They're on a minor league deal, but like like that. We've been talking about a lot of baseball over the weekend, but it's like, yeah, man, you had this big name that still commands a certain dollar amount, but like they ain't got it. Like, and Saraya had 25 matches in AEW, and I can't think of a single one. And she was doomed on arrival. Like, she fucked up immediately her first program, and Britt basically was like, I ain't gonna save you. So it was like, you on your own. And that match they had was god awful. And she parlayed this into winning the belt at Wembley at the biggest pro wrestling show ever. Crazy when you think about it. And all-time finesse, all-time hustler, I would imagine. Just stole money for 2.5 years or so. Man, I will not miss Saraya's contributions to the wrestling. She at least, seemed to kind of understand like which way the wind was blowing. You look at how long her career has been, what she came back from with the injuries, how long she had actually been wrestling. She's probably got a lot of tread on the tire. And I don't know, man. I think it just comes a time when you look up, and all of a sudden, the other people that you see in the division are Mercedes Moné, or Toni Storm, or Willow Nightingale, or Megan Bain, or Chris Statlander, or Thunder Rosa, and then you're like, damn, where do I fit in on this? And I think this is the best outcome, I think. You did have to watch a lot of sorry matches, though, and people believing she could do it. Sorry, but she proved the haters right.
So, you said that you believe that, from a value perspective, CM Punk was a worse contract signing than Saraya, and I got to tell you, I'm willing to...
No. Okay. I think Saraya is the worst. I said besides CM Punk. But Saraya,
well, besides mean like there's some.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, look, you can make an argument for either.
I don't think you can make an argument that CM Punk has been a worse signing, money dollar for dollar for AEW than Saraya. Saraya gave them absolutely nothing whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. She stunk. The only time she was ever any bit of good was when she was in a faction where she was the number 3 wrestler as far as worker, as far as person they put in the ring. And the best thing she ever did was like help Ruby in her relationship that happened behind screen, and then like they figured in how to make it happen on screen work by doing this, like keep her and Ange apart and whatever else. Like, And it was like, you can see that like there was this hella incredible chemistry between Ruby and Angelo. And then I find out later, oh, they fucking for real. It was like, oh, well, I mean, it looked like it look. I was like, I thought there was a great actor. I was like, actually, this, you know, they were shooting and working on screen. So yeah, man, like this.
Seamus noticed that she gave us some funny interviews with Harley. Yeah, she did.
Yeah. And then Harley quickly surpassed her. Look, man, she was bad. She had next to no moments. You know, her biggest moment, her greatest contribution to AEW's history is her pop when she debuted. That's it.
Yeah, it was massive. I watched it the other day actually, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
I don't know what these people thought they were getting. You know, they were just happy to see her, I guess. New face, new place.
That was the top. That was the zenith. That in retrospect, that should have been it. Grand opening, grand closing.
Damn.
Tony Khan should have paid however many hundreds of thousands of dollars for that pop, and that's it. Like, yeah, man, just a disaster. The Wembley thing is one of the worst. The Wembley win is one of the worst decisions in the history of the company. And that was one of the worst decisions in the history of the company in real time. We've been further vindicated now that she's out the company. Yeah, man. So, I don't know. There's also this part where, like, you know, she was playing her problematic boyfriend's or ex-boyfriend at this point, music down to the ring. There's also that. She brought her problematic family down to the ring for Wembley. Yeah, man. It's all the way around a bad look, a bad experience. Bad tenure, and I don't know if she continues wrestling or not, or where she goes, whatever else. But like wherever she goes, I hope it's nowhere I watch.
I think Saraya's done in pro wrestling. I could see them bringing her back to put her. Actually, I think she's already in the WWE Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have that right, chat?
I mean, I know they did that movie.
Inducted? Has she been inducted to the Hall of Fame? I don't think she has.
Yikes. I speak for all of WWE and Marigold fans when I say we need Paige. Yikes.
Okay, yeah. They'll bring her back for the WWE Hall of Fame. They are going to do the Evolution show this year at some point. I would be I could probably see her appearing on at least on that show as a one-off. Besides that, I don't really see many bright prospects for her. Game is passed by, so maybe she I don't know, maybe she's I don't know what she does now. Because I gotta say, like, you know, she probably did not come in cheap, but I imagine she hasn't made tons of money in wrestling. You gotta kind of keep it rolling. Look, them bills still keep coming, so it's like.
And she's only 32. Yeah.
Correct. So, yeah, Mandy Rose route. I mean, you know, that is on.
Okay, because people are going to watch this or going to listen to this on a podcast. You need to acknowledge that, like, you said that in response to somebody saying that in the chat.
Correct.
That wasn't your idea. That was not your idea that she decides to hop into adult entertainment. Yeah. You gotta save Rich ass real quick. Someone here in the podcast like, wait, what? Rich, this asshole Rich Latta threw this woman under the bus of the pro wrestling and suggests she now just decides to show her body, show her parts of her body online.
That is not what I
like. Damn, that's not what happened.
No. Oh man. So at least she's not with the guy she was with no more. But you know, I don't know. There's a lot that goes with Saraya. I think a lot of people have she's always been a favorite of, you know, a lot of the pro wrestling fans for a long time. And if this is it, you know, I really don't know what to say. I wish her well on whatever she does. So, But yeah, man, I think we should probably transition into the people that are on the way in the door at AEW. So I'll start with Kevin Knight officially signing with AEW. Had a match with Jay White on Collision. I didn't see Collision on Saturday, but I heard he did make his debut there. I was fortunate enough to talk with Kevin Knight back in February at Dynamite. Night he was there. That was the night that he taped the match with AR Fox. And he was being recruited hard, it looks like, and it looks like AEW kind of came back, the victor here. And there was interest in WWE and then interest in AEW, and then apparently they made him do a tryout or something in WWE.
Either they made him do it or they wanted him to do it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know the exact story there, but I kind of think that's kind of absurd. Like I think you can look at the tape on the guy and be like, yeah, like I don't think like this is a mindset thing. This is a can they get him to play ball type thing? I think I don't know. If it was me,
I call it buck breaking.
Yeah.
This person's very talented. Let's fuck with them.
Yeah, if it was me, if I was Shawn Michaels, I would not have let him leave that building without like getting his name on the paper. And be like, yo, so like, what do we need to do? Like, this guy's a very high potential prospect, and I kind of think of him in a similar light, like as I thought somebody like Swerve earlier in their careers. We know this guy's been trained immaculately. He's got great reps, great experience already, still young, marketable, can talk, cool on top of everything, and like a potentially like outstanding wrestler to add to your like basically like that under 30 mix in AEW, where it's like he can stand in there pretty much with all of them walking in the door. Very happy for Kevin, who I've got to kind of know over the last year a little bit, and I think that he's gonna be awesome here. And they weren't gonna like give him the big deal in New Japan or something like that. So it was like after a while you got to look around and eventually like do what you need to do to get yourself paid. And this guy's like, I think he's got a lot to him, and I just hope he has like someone to really kind of advocate to like really bring like the best out of what he can do, because I think he's so young in his career where it's like you can make this guy like a future flagship kind of guy, I think. So they got a good one here.
Yeah. He's a great wrestler, or he's a very, very talented wrestler that has potential to be a great wrestler. That's the way to put it, because there's so much in front of him, you would assume. And, like, proof's in the pudding, like, he's one of the most athletic guys, like, physically athletic guys in the business. And, like, I can't wait to see him versus Dante in, like, a dick measuring competition between who's more athletic. Like, they need to go out there and have a drop kick competition. They need to have a frog splash competition. like guys with the best leaps in the business, like, it's folks like him, it's folks like Dante, it's folks like Montez, it's people like Seth Rollins. Like, people to be like, they jump and it's ridiculous. So
and Kevin Knight's a gym warrior, always like posting about being in the gym, always lifting weights, squatting, super strong. Like, so that's where those hops come from.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, yeah, bro. Seth Rollins' frog splash is incredible. Like, I get that he's a WWE guy and he's lame as fuck, but like, let's not lie here. He is incredible leaping ability. So yeah, man. Like, I'm interested to see where he fits in and like how he grows roots in this company, because they can go the typical young gunner that loses a lot, or they could try, or they might see him as something a little different. But like, either way, I think his route, whatever his road is going to be a long road to get where he's at anyway. But like, I think there is room, because like, I think some of the guys that they invested a lot in over the last like 2 years, they quite frankly need to be like, all right, we know where the ceiling is, and we need to find people with higher ceilings. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so like we were always talking about that class of like, there was the pillars, then there was killers, and we haven't had anything like from the fan base to come up with the next group of guys, but like he could definitely be in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he he could easily, I know a lot of people are calling for him to join the Hurt Syndicate and all that. For me, that feels a little bit too easy. It feels a little bit too just on the nose or whatever. It's like, all right, you just throw another guy in there. I'm like, I don't want him to get in there and be a pin eater for somebody.
That's why I would be very wary of him doing that, because that screams pin eater.
Right. I would, and then because it's like, who's going to be doing the jobs in that group?
Right.
Not either of Shelton or Bobby. So, like, for me, it would be like, I wouldn't want him affiliated with that group unless he was going to take over the group, essentially, and then, like, this is my group now, and he's going to inherit everything. And I don't think that's the case. I don't know. I could be wrong. But
do you think, like, but that would also require, like, do you think the MVP
financial investment?
Do you think that MVP is going to be around here for 5 years? I do not. I think Hurt Syndicate and all of them. I'm not saying that they're finna go right back to WWE or anything like that, but like whatever they do, they're not here for a long time. They're here for a good time. And yeah. I'm not saying that's them being selfish or none. I'm just saying, like, given the age of the three individuals in that act, that's not no long term act.
Right. And it's like, all right, do I see them like is it worth it to make a Wheeler Yuta-like investment in Kevin Knight with that group? I don't think it is, because I think Kevin Knight has potential beyond that. Yes. Just saying.
And given how well it's going for Wheeler Yuta right now, do you want to do one of that to somebody with that?
No.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Like, I didn't want to say the name, but that's exactly what I was thinking of when I was talking about, like, people that they have gone to a certain level with, and now need to have a realization of where they are, and like be like, this is best it's going to get. Now it's time to move off from that. Like, Wheeler Yuta is a pin eater on a trios champion. Like that, I think that's the best it's going to be. Or he moves and becomes like the television champion in Ring of Honor. But I think that's kind of where we are. And then Garcia, as much as we all like Garcia, like he's doing very well on Collision. But he's on a show that I don't think exists, fundamentally don't think should exist. So, like, there's only so much props I give him while still liking him and still liking, the Collision crew. Like, it's just tough. It's just tough.
Yeah. And, it's like, all right, like, you gotta, I think you gotta start thinking about who you match this guy up with. Is he gonna, is he gonna be a babyface in the short term? It seems like that's, what he's gonna start as, but, not sure, man. So, like, this is another guy like that they've got, like more black wrestlers in AEW.
All I'll say is this: just push him further than fucking Hook, please. Yes, for the love of God. Yes. It's bad enough that you had to have Nick Wayne job to that fucking guy. Do not, Tony Khan. Don't you dare!
So, like, I could easily see, like, I just wonder what veteran is going to, like, take a look around the locker room and look at him and be like, I'll work with him. I wonder who it's going to be.
I bet Jericho's already thought about it.
Oh, my God. I feel like Jericho's got Kevin Knight in his scope, like, from a mile away or whatever. Like, oh, that'd be nice. Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight on the road to Okada match. But they need to have him challenge Kazuchika Okada and say, I have a better drop kick than you. Like, that's what they need to do.
It would be good.
But yeah, moving on. Mina Shirakawa also has announced that she's wrapping up with Stardom and heading to AEW in Japan. Did a press conference and all that. And this is kind of a long time coming, I would say, wouldn't you, James? I think there were a few wrestlers in Stardom that were kind of more ready-made for America than her. I would probably put Unagi on that list as well from a couple years ago.
I would not put Unagi on that list because I don't think she speaks English well. But the thing with Mina was, like, when I got familiar with her was 2000. Like late 2019 into 2020 when she was still in Tokyo Joshi Pro. And it came through her relationship with Thunder Rosa when Thunder Rosa was having her program in Tokyo Pro with Maki Ito. And like, I just picked up to like, oh, Mina speaks conversational English. Okay. Well, first it was, oh, Mina looks how she looks. And then it was like, oh, Mina's age appropriate to be able to talk about how she looks. Okay. And then it turned into, oh, she speaks conversational
She for the unks.
Yeah.
We the unks, James.
It's like, hey, I'm born 87. She was
Unk
born
Nation Radio.
God damn it. Don't do this. Don't feed. Let the stream in the Discord come up with that. Don't give them this shit. Anyway, so I was born in 87. I saw that she was born in 80. I was like, oh, okay. It's very rare in Joshi that you see someone, that's, they're in their 30s and they're still doing this. Unless they've been, they've have like an extensive career that spans back a decade already. So
yeah,
when she transferred, or not transferred, when she left Tokyo Pro to go to Stardom, and she was paired with Tam, who's also just like a couple months younger than her. It was like, okay. And then you see, you've seen the character growth, and then her becoming like over those years, like come from, oh, she's very dependable in trios. Oh, she's very dependable in tags. To, oh, she's having good singles matches. To, oh, she's having very good to great singles matches at times. Oh, she actually can, like, you can put her in a semi-main event spot and have one of the better matches in the Stardom that year. So, in 2023, that's what happened. Like, she started reeling off like the best match, like the stretch of like the 3 or 4 best matches of her career to that point, where like happened month after month after month on pay-per-view. So it was like very impressive to see that from her. So, for me, it was like I have all the belief in the world that she's good enough to be on television, because like if you can be a main event wrestler in Stardom, you're more than going to be in the good enough to be in the women's division in AEW or any American pro wrestling company. So it just came down to, is this thing going to happen for her? And with the Mariah May thing, with the relationship they had, with her moving off after her year in Stardom, basically to move on to AEW, and then her role in AEW along with Toni Storm, and then that whole title shot that she got, that was an opportunity, and like she immediately got over. And, it just, once she got over, it was like, oh, okay, she's gonna, after she gets over like that, I see no reason for AEW not to want her. And then, we flash forward months from now, to now, and like, yeah, it's here now, and I'm happy for her. I don't think she did all this stuff and did all that flying back and forth between that brutal Stardom schedule and AEW for nothing. So
yeah, she the English is going to serve her well here, probably in a way that I don't know any other Joshi that has had probably strong of English as Mina upon moving. Going back to thinking about Asuka, even then, like
she speaks better conversational English than Asuka does, or kind of does now.
Yeah,
but especially back when she first moved over.
I'm just saying, saying Asuka forward. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like people that got an opportunity, right? Like, for example, like Yappy and Ice Ribbon. She speaks great English. She speaks English like she studied it in, like she speaks it like she does the YouTube channel in English. Perfect English, right? Sheeta will be an immediate example of someone that you would be like, all right, that would be the one. Will be the one that comes to mind. Maya Yuki, she's never been on American television. They had the opportunity, but like Maya Yuki speaks good enough that level of English where like she could do this, but she never got an opportunity. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, I'm happy for her. Like I don't think these people learn this other language if they were interested in this. I don't think she flew back and forth like that if she wasn't interested in this. Like she's pursuing what she wanted, and like I've kind of have kept an eye out on her since 2019 to 20 about like wherever she's been, and I've enjoyed her wherever she's been. So this is more to that, and I hope this continues. She's a really, she's an easy talent to root for, given that like I seen the progress over, you know, the last 5 years to get to where she's became as a pro wrestler and as a character. And while seeing it not be some perfect transition character, we've seen some stuff from her that we were like, yo, we need to never see that again. That Bloody Angel shit sucked.
Yeah. And, you know, I think, you know, the titty shaking immediately is like what people are going to see or whatever. And they're going to like, you know, she's basically like.
She's a great underdog babyface.
I was going to say, she's basically like the blueprint for like, basically like, you know, slap your head and be like, oh, you thought this was just some pretty woman or whatever that, like, no, this is a dog in there, like, and very, very tough. Broke them teeth, like, against Sai Kamatani.
Accidentally gave her a fucking a Phoenix leg drop and broke her and knocked half her teeth down her throat. Yeah. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, she's just a very good underdog babyface, and like you can beat her like a drum and she'll still be over, and then she gets wins, like the wins like feel, I don't want to say monumental, but like they feel like for every 2 times she loses, like the one big win she gets, like it feels special. It really does. And it's hard to team her up. The only kind of example I can kind of give you for that is from AEW is like, you know how it was when like Eddie Kingston, it was hard for him to ever get big wins. And then he finally won from time to time. And you see him, you know, it's not linear progress, but like his rise was like very satisfying to watch over the years. Like she is that person like in Stardom where like she was, you know, she was kind of slotted to be the number 3 in her squad. And then she moved to number 2. And then she, you know, eventually won a championship, which I never saw in her. A singles championship I never saw in her like trajectory, and then she actually lived up to it. So yeah, she's somebody like I will always like bet on and root for.
Yeah, they better not ever let her and Harley Cameron on the same.
Oh my god,
you know, in the same like space, like on TV, like the live show charisma overload. It is gonna happen there, like. You know, may cause a screen to malfunction or something. So let's be careful on what we do. I think you can team her up with any babyface on the roster. Her and Willow would be a funny team. I just want to know who's going to be learning to dance. You know, who's she going to teach to dance to, and who's going to take to the dance. Is Mercedes going to like, you know, come and like, you know, the last time, you know, they tried dancing back and forth. Mina kind of ate her up. So like. You know, what's it going to be? You know, like who do you want to see learn to dance?
One of my favorite moments of the Mina AEW stuff was like when her and Mariah, because they were Rose Gold in Stardom, they did the dance coming out. And like, you know, they were doing the whole menage a trois thing with them two and Tony Storm at the time. And they do the dance at the press conference and they do it perfectly, like on beat perfectly. And then like Tony is like just trying to catch up on ad lib. And so she's like everything, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's watching them. So like everything she tries to copy, she's literally like a quarter beat off.
I have beat back.
So yeah, man, like you're going to see, like, I think she's going to bring, wackiness to this show, and I think it's
she's gonna be an easy target too.
Yeah, and I don't think the wackiness is like the Harley Cameron, like I planned this is intentional. No, like Mina is a wacky person. I don't mean like she's a botch or anything like no, like her character is like she will go into some zany territory and be like, how do we get here? And sometimes it will be awful. Like those Stardom in showcase matches with all the Cosmic Angels some of them were some of the worst things Stardom's ever done. And they were based around Mina, right? But she also has some recovery. Like, there's going to be a lot of hits and misses. She's a I don't say high volume, but like she did a lot of stuff that I did not like, and stuff that I fundamentally stand against or want in my pro wrestling, and I still think very fondly of her more times than not. I'm just being honest.
Hey.
Like, there's going to be some misses, and like it's going to be a part of the charm for some people.
Hey, it's been long enough, James. When are we getting the Stardom and Showcase retrospective? How many of those?
Social Suplex from James Boyd?
Yeah, I mean, you said we can do it on whatever show you like. You know, we can invent a new show.
Man, you can go back to the archive and pull up when we talk about Stardom and Showcase, and I buried them on them Cosmic Angel matches. I'm like, man, this shit they can't do this. These are awful. Also some of the Stardom Showcase matches, like, them shits were zany as hell. But yeah, but I wish her the best, obviously. And I hope that, like, if in the future, like, she is a big part of whatever partnership there is between Stardom and AEW, as far as like sending talent back and forth.
What's up? One more time?
Oh, I was saying, like, regardless of like whatever happens with her in AEW, I hope that she is a big part of whatever happens as far as a partnership going back and forth with Stardom or whatever, like Forbidden Door time, that sort of thing.
I imagine she's not gonna be welcomed back by some members of the fandom. So, and it's a sensitive subject.
It comes from a good place, but it's a little bit overprotective. Like, I don't think that, like, there's going to be a raid going on. I just don't think so. I don't think people are signing up for that. Like, there ain't that many people that speak that even half a damn worth of English on starting rosters. I don't think they're going to come over here. I think get over for that culture shot and be like, what is this? Y'all eat that? No, thank you.
They going to come over here and be like, hot dog, yes.
They got hot dogs over there too. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I love when the Joshi come over here and they start posting about the
ridiculous size foods. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, they're like, In-N-Out burger, huh?
Now the ones that I enjoy is when, like, you see like they get like some 5'1" woman has a cookie that's like the size, like this big. Is like, what? All right, okay, gotcha.
So the last guy that's kind of come in, he's already kind of booked in his first program, but might as well throw him in with this class too. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Okay.
This guy's wrestled everybody from Kenny Omega to Swerve to everybody from PWG. He was a PWG guy years ago. Got that 5-year ban. Worked in TNA a lot. I didn't see a ton of his work, but anytime I did see him, was a wrestler made for me. Flips and kicks, baby. Run it up.
Yeah.
He got to do a promo this week with Kenny, which I found fucking hilarious.
It was like he was like a character in an 80s martial arts movie. Yeah,
it was like anime voice versus anime voice. Because like Kenny Omega out here spawning like hold on, and he was talking about how much he looked up to him and he's inspired him, and I was like, this is funny. That man actually decided to wear shoes for the special occasion. Apparently, this man does not own shoes in the way Pac doesn't own regular clothes. Apparently, it was a huge deal. He put shoes on. But yeah, I think this guy like slots in, for whatever secondary championship you want. Like, he's right there. And if he gets over really big, all I've heard was about this guy was he can't do this. He's not able to do this. I'm sorry, through like 3 weeks or whatever, this guy's knocked it out of the fucking park, like in everything he's done. So I almost don't want to put a ceiling on the guy or anything. I don't know if he'll be able to be the world champion just because of that damn competitive and everything like that. But could he wrestle the world champion? Absolutely. Could he be like Orange Cassidy in this promotion? Absolutely.
He's a better worker than Orange Cassidy.
What I mean is, like, can he fill that function? Can he be a challenger?
Got you.
Somebody that gets over with
with
his matches, whatever.
Okay,
like, he's right there.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point. He is somebody that you plug and play with. And he can deploy him in anything. Like, he should be in the Owen. Win or lose or whatever else, this thing with Kenny Omega, obviously he's going to lose, but like, he should be in the Owen. Like he's somebody you should put in all the battle royals. He should be in all the tournaments. And you should have him out here with the baby faces and like, you know, throw together party matches or whatever else. He's that kind of guy. And you see where he ends up after that or whatever else, but like he's gonna have a lot of goodwill going forward because he's gonna have killer matches, and he's already proven that so far. So yeah, you're right. Now I just wanted to go back real quick to Wasabi King saying that like the Joshi they love they all love Buc-ee's. I was like,
they do love Buc-ee's.
The reason why they love Buc-ee's is because that's basically like a supersized 7-Eleven or Lawson's. Like that's exactly what that is. It's like, oh, it's a gigantic convenience mart. Of course they love Buc-ee's. Anyway,
Buc-ee's is amazing.
Yeah, Buc-ee's cool. And like, look, I will go just short of buying Buc-ee's t-shirts, but I get why people do that. But back to Speedball, yeah, man. I think they gotta given where we are with some of the people away from TV, and or kind of doing mostly Collision. I think he has a lot of space right now to you know, get people to care about him in a way and get towards like, you know, whatever his big thing, a big feud is, whatever else. I think he can be factored into something that like isn't some party match at All In. I think he can be someone that like you put in some, you know, important match or match that matters in a singles capacity or program for like Wembley. If they play their cards right, like he came in like just late enough to be able to do that. Like if we're not gonna send off Jeff Jarrett or send off like Cope and Christian together in a waste of our time on that show, like he could definitely get a match. I'd definitely rather see him than them. Yeah.
It's you know, I think he's, you know, as I mentioned before, he's upgraded kind of to a major league look. Invested in the gear, looks cool. Yeah. Gear's cool. The body has come through, and obviously the offense, I think, it just makes him kind of instantly like.
We ain't seen it all yet either. We haven't seen it all yet either. And great point.
We haven't.
King of Norfolk said, like, I need Speedball in Arena Mexico. I gotta say, I would love to see that too. I love to see that too.
Run it up. Yeah, run it up. But yeah, man,
I'll say this, right? We were just talking about Coliseon earlier. Look, if he gets added to Collision, I might have to start checking in every week. Like they put the Mercedes and Athena segment on Collision. I didn't see it yet. Like they are not treating this like some show you can just skip. Like they have, like, even if you treat it that way, like you will miss some fun ass matches. You will always miss some fun ass matches on Collision.
Yep.
Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Steven at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Steven.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
So right now it looks like we've got 6 official matches locked in for AEW Dynasty. We talked a lot about Moxley and Swerve last week, so I don't know if we have too much more to add to that. We can probably, add a little bit more, but I'll just go through each of it here. We did get 2 other matches added on here. We'll start with like Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. They're having a singles match for the TNT Championship. No time limit, no outside interference. They've gone to, a time limit draw. They've, had different tag and trios matches against each other. And I think this has been really cool for Adam Cole to because he was on a massive losing streak. And I don't mean like him doing jobs or losing matches and shit like that. It was just like nothing that he did was like well received. positive. It felt like he had completely kind of like slipped, like ability wise as a pro wrestler, and he just like looked like he was struggling in his return from injury. Whereas like, I don't know if that guy can tap into the things that made him who he was. I was kind of scared for him. He's come back, rebuilt his body, and this is, these guys are kind of similar size or whatever. This should be one of Adam Cole's best showings in the company, and this should be like, if we had expectations of what Adam Cole could do on a takeover against somebody, Garcia is a perfect guy to go in there with and, pull something out.
I think that there are matches that you have much higher expectations to, so this is very low pressure. And I think a lot of the things with Adam Cole, he was kind of, because of, his prior track record in NXT or Ring of Honor and like who he's friends with and people remember him as, like, I think there was a lot of pressure put on him in high stakes situations. And sometimes he was successful, sometimes he wasn't successful, but like, it wasn't nearly the hit rate that you would want someone that you're pushing to that level, or not pushing that level, putting in those kind of spots in that kind of bases they were. So I think now that there's less expectation on him. He's kind of off Broadway. Like being on Collision, like kind of puts you off Broadway. And I think he's been able to kind of find what speed he's at right now. So I think we're going to have a fun, enjoyable match, and we're not going to be like, damn, man, this was supposed to be like the third best match tonight. No one's expecting that. So I think, they're going to go out there and have a really good match, and they can just be like the conclusion of their program, which has been good, very good. So yeah, like
I almost don't know which way they would go on the finish and all that, but
same, and also they had this in the back sleeve, like it could go either way, because like Adam Cole doesn't need this, because because worst comes to worst, there's still the trios run with the rest of Undisputed.
Yeah,
they always have.
I think I'm going to pick Garcia to retain. But I wouldn't be shocked if it went the other way either.
Yeah, I think I will go with Garcia, because like, and also like he hasn't been on TV with that belt before, or sorry, on pay-per-view with that belt before. I don't think. Am I forgetting something? Am I forgetting something from like Russell Dream or something?
So. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So we got a title versus mask match, something I always love, from a master of these, Chris Jericho, who's been slowly kind of deconstructing the learning tree. I don't know if people were picking up on this. And he's kind of dropped into a more serious tone. He's had a pretty good program with Bandito here.
Yep.
Featuring a really good match that they had on Collision as the main event.
I'm sorry, what was that? Jericho, on what show?
Collision. Excuse me. I got to say it
He's wrestling
properly.
Bandito. That's Collision.
Yeah. And, you never count this guy out. I you guys know the rant and all that, right? Title versus mask. I think this is going to be where Bandito wins. And because if you unmask Bandito, you deserve to have the company close. And I don't think they're going to be closing up shop or anything here. So I'm taking Bandito to win here. And this is like going to be, look, man, it's going to be a bad time. Or like, oh, what is Chris Jericho doing? And, he might be wrapping it up. He's going to put this guy over, make him look like $1 million. And then it's going to be like, all right, what do you need me to do next? Because we know Jericho's not leaving TV. Like, so.
He don't do that.
It's like, you don't do that. So, like, Bandito's going to get this ROH belt or whatever. And then that's going to be. He's won it before, obviously in the past.
Yep.
Hopefully he can do something cool with it. But this is going to be about Jericho. Like I feel confident saying that. Like I don't think like, and they've set this up really nice. Like as far as like doing the angles, like with the family, the brother
got good use out of Gravity, because like Gravity ain't exactly the most consistent in the world.
Yeah, so I expect this match to be awesome too. All their matches are usually awesome.
Yeah,
so
they're usually the
like
basement is
Bandito. Bandito's used to wrestling old men, so like he's cracked the old man Jericho code.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. The basement for Jericho and Bandito is great. So I expect nothing less, because they keep doing it. So I expect another one. expect Bandito to get his big win, and then like I expect at some point, forever champ Jericho to get the belt back for a 10th world title reign. He can call himself the Ace. So yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. That sounds too close to saying he's the Ace. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen immediately, but like I think in 2026 he will get that third Ring of Honor World Championship run. He will call himself the Ace. Yeah. So
we gotta
look out. But like I think to find something for Bandito to do coming back, like I think they've done a great job with him.
Yeah, and keep in mind we had that concussion with him that kind of set him back probably like a month or two.
Yeah,
when he first returned, and they did those raw ass vignettes for him when he came back.
Y'all, just those that know how good he is, I'm saying just like he ain't got to like the cream of the crop in AEW yet, and when he does, oh my god, bro.
Add Bandito on that list, that under 30 list.
Bandito and Takeshita. See who the strongest, who see the pound for pound strongest motherfucker in pro wrestling is, right? Swerve. We've already seen him in Osprey.
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
I've always wanted Kenny versus Bandito. I've always wanted it.
That you already know. You already know that's on the list of something that's awesome. Yeah, man, it's going like there's a group, there's a half dozen guys I could not wait for Bandito to wrestle. Well, when the time comes. So yeah.
Trios match for the Trios World Belts and an extension of this program that just won't seem to end. Cope is going to war with the Death Riders, but FTR is showing some tension in the ranks. Dax Harwood is crashing out, is upset at the losing. He's been not happy on Collision, with some of the losses that he's had. Against the likes of the Undisputed guys, and he was pissed at Cope for not winning the belt and being very passive aggressive. Kind of funny. To look at it, actually, like Cash is like, "Hey guys, like they hold it all together," and Cope is just like, old man Cope. He's even keel or whatever, but Dax is just being a pissy little bitch, and it's actually kind of entertaining. Look at Dax Harwood being entertaining. What year is this, James? So they're doing Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta against Rated FTR. I got a title change going here. I don't see the need to really keep the world belts on the Death Riders any longer. They've done like nearly jack shit with them. I feel like this is kind of what FTR is or Rated FTR is kind of put together for. Give them something.
Yeah. And there's also that part where it's like, you can say what you want about FTR. Them motherfuckers want to wrestle. Them motherfuckers want to go on the show and wrestle hard as fuck. So, that would be definitely a step. That would be definitely a market improvement with these trios belts over, since almost their inception. So, since Game 7, really. So yeah, I'm down for that. And then if not, they can have I got a question for you, Rich. In a FTR turn on Cope, who are you then like? If you had to root for someone, who would you be rooting for? Would you be rooting for Cope or would you be rooting for FTR?
I think I'd be rooting for Cope.
Damn, you really fucking hate FTR. God damn!
I mean, I'm rooting for the good guy, in that case,
Man, I'm rooting
for the good guy.
Look, when FTR said, when Dax said, "Look, man, we've been kind of putting our shit to the side for you, going after these tag titles, and I think it's time for us to go back." And then he said, "What about the trios titles?" And you can see that man fuming like, "Okay. Cass said he want to do this? Okay. If we don't get these fucking trios titles, I'm finna beat you like you stole 4 months from me." Look, man, it's gonna be a horseman level. It's gonna be a horseman level beat down on Cope.
Look, look. All right, if they do this, if they do a horseman level beat down, I'll join you. I'll cheer for FTR too.
Because it's like, look, man, you say what you want to. I ain't really seen much FTR of late because obviously, they're collisioners. So, so I haven't seen them collide. But
they had an awesome match with Undisputed guys.
You told me. But it's like, for me, it's kind of like, yeah, man, you want to do the trio say or you do all the work for them because, FTR, they're star fuckers. If you want to do that for them, sure. Fine. But man, just match it, just like, I've put this on the side for you. We can go at these tag titles. The Young Bucks ain't here right now in the way. We can be racking up these titles, and you out here doing this. Okay, all right. He finna beat this. He finna beat Cope ass, and I'm finna pop like crazy for that one. Oh, because especially after Cope and Moxley shit. Nah, man, I need some catharsis. I need heads bust.
I just think Dax is going to end up trying to be like Dax is already doing Bret Hart cosplay with it. I think I saw him tweet like 4 pictures and then he captioned it. Frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it, just like, the Bret Hart turn or whatever.
You shove Vince in after the cage match? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, goddamn it.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
For motherfuckers to say that Bret wasn't like great or wasn't like that what do you call it? Charismatic or else. Why was he so quotable then? Brett's one of the most quotable.
Bro, just like this man was in Playgirl, which is a gay magazine. It's a girly magazine, which is really a gay magazine.
Bro, he hit that man with pure he hit Shawn with pure homophobia. Pure homophobia back then. Pure homophobia over the airwaves.
Bro, he used to say shit. You like Shawn Michaels, you might have barebacked your way to a few main events.
Pure homophobia.
Like, what?
Oh, man.
Bret Hart, toxic masculinity. Before we knew the words.
Oh my God.
Man, if you ever want to see some entertaining shit, watch when he forms the Hart Foundation in 1997, and then he be making Owen Hart cry, and Owen Hart sells that shit, and like it's fucking ridiculous. And where Owen Hart's crying, and then he's like, "I love you, man."
Do you remember? Okay, especially because it's like Owen was the biggest shitty, like no good motherfucker ever. So here, do you remember when Eddie Kingston first came to AEW? And he walked up on Butcher and Blade and Penta and Phoenix, and then like he convinced him, and then like as he got them all to get together to start like this super group of 5 guys, he looks at the camera and winks and smiles.
Yep.
Brett should have did that. Brett should have did that when he got the horse.
He did.
Oh, he did.
He did. Yeah, he looked dead in the camera. He looked dead in the camera, like essentially.
He didn't, but he didn't smile and wink. He just looked at the camera with a smirk, though, right?
Yeah, he did like a smug asshole look. Is what the chat is saying.
Right.
Like,
I'm saying he should take a whole step further. He should have full on Eddie Kingston look at the camera with a shit-eating grin, seeing you can see all 32 teeth and wink at the camera. That's what he should did. Like he's breaking the fourth wall. Full on. He's Deadpool. He's Jim from The Office. He should have did that totally. Oh,
Zach
man.
Morris. Right?
It's funny. How many times a year have we done it? We talk about FTR. We kind of shit on them, and then we immediately do what they do as far as like just talk about how much we hurt.
Hey,
it's happened like 3 times at least.
I mean, you know what today is? We can just keep the Bret Hart love going. You know what today? Look, anniversary of the Iron Man match today.
Oh wow, it is. Wow, that's crazy.
So March 31st, 1996.
Wow,
legendary match. But yeah,
I feel like I like that match more than anybody.
Man, Brett ruled, man. Like, and don't let these people that annoy you, like, make you like think Bret Hart wasn't all that. Like, don't let these people that blatantly rip him off in worse ways. Don't let them like make you think less of the master. Like, yeah, they are putting the Hart and Austin WrestleMania match into the Hall of Fame, acting like it's the UFC, the moment or whatever they're putting in. Be the most important match in the company's history. I don't know. Some people would argue that. It's really a masterpiece. Like of in a company with so few of them, I feel like this especially is just like I could talk all day about Hart and Austin in WrestleMania 13, where it was just like, just how interesting 1996 and 1997 WWF is. Like, with all those guys trying to be the top guy, there's so much politicking and jockeying and motherfuckers that don't want to like work with each other. But like, the thing is, like, Austin ends up working with everyone pretty much, but he's basically in the middle of like, all right, there's Austin, there's Triple H, there's Rock, but like Triple H and Rock
they're not on that level yet.
They're not on that level, but he's the one going against Undertaker. He's the one going against Shawn. Or teaming with Shawn. He's the one going against Brett, and it's like it's kind of bittersweet because it's like that time period should have lasted like longer, but contracts kind of broke that thing up, and then injuries or whatever as well, and everything else among sunny days and everything. But
working themselves into a shoot.
Right. It was too much.
People when people talk about a screw job, people do not go back far enough to be like, this all started because Brett and Shawn both agreed to say, we're going to start acting like we hate each other to work the boys. And then they end up working themselves. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. People don't talk about that enough. It was like, you fucking idiots, you grown ass men. Like,
I remember a couple years ago, I think it was, I don't know if it was, it might be like, I don't know if it was the 30-year anniversary. We did a Montreal Screwjob podcast one time. We were like, fuck it. We're going to do the definitive podcast of it. We can throw to the archive. Yeah, we did. And you might not remember it, but yeah, we did it.
But when do we get to do the next one?
There's another one?
I'm just saying, like, bro, I can talk for 90 minutes about that shit any day of the week. Just to go over it again.
On command.
You know how many times Rich has been like, James, I don't want to fucking talk about a Montreal Screwjob anymore. We're like, I'm telling you, it's too damn bad. We're finna go back again. For the fourth time this year, we're finna go back again, Rich. Just on a regular random conversation. We're finna talk about the Screwjob again.
But like, it's like, all right, because we set it up, we did it, we built up, we kind of ironically did it like the Drake, Kendrick Lamar thing. We talked about the backstory, of how we all got there, and then we basically talked about the happening and then the fallout after and like the legacy of it and everything. It was really good. Y'all should check it out. But it was just like such a competitive environment. WWF is like all the shit that was working forever don't work no more, and then like the old heroes are dying kind of one by one and everything's kind of changing or whatever, but like people are getting pushed into roles where it's like, all right, I guess we doing this now. And that's why it was so weird for me, because I loved Bret Hart as a kid, and I was just like, Bret not wrong, bro. I was so cool. Leave this nigga alone, man. He beats this nigga Austin ass every fucking time.
I fucking hated Stone Cold Steve Austin in 96 and 97 so fucking much. It was literally like, leave Bret alone. I remember after WrestleMania 13, I was like, fuck that. Bret's right. What the fuck y'all talking about? Am I insane here? Why are y'all booing him? He's right.
Yeah.
Bret was so great. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. He was so great.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Bret Hart rules. Wish his career was longer.
Top guys out.
Yeah, top guys out. So, FTR and Cope getting the win here. So, singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Kind of a controversial kind of match here. I've been seeing in the Discord lots of passionate arguments about this one. Timeless Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne. The Toni Storm retain people are very adamant that she retains.
For what reason? What are their good reasons for that?
I think
the fourth time's the best time.
I think that they're considering this one to be the Toni Storm ace run this time.
The fourth one's going to be the ace run?
I guess so. And, Megan Bayne allegedly doesn't do anything better than Toni Storm at the moment. I think Toni Storm is one of the most popular wrestlers on the roster at this point. Now, like, she's gone to a level where I feel confident saying she's the number one woman in the promotion. Like, I don't think she's number one, not to me or anything. Like, for me, it's Mercedes or whatever.
She's the most popular. She's the most popular.
Yeah. And it's like, do you mess with that? I think there's a solid argument to say you kind of keep that where it's at right now, but you only get a Megan Bayne walking in kind of one time and to do something special with it. That's where my argument is. Every time Megan Bayne's been on TV in this company, she's delivered. She's done something impressive. She looks great. Like, as far as like showing up looking like a star, like she's made for TV. And like, I don't like. It seems like there's a lot of moving parts here because the women's Owen is fucking loaded, right? They've got this. And could you get more than one match out of this? Do you think maybe if you handcuff them together for a couple months?
Yeah, sure. Okay. The only way to do that is if there's a title change.
Agree. Like, if you beat Megan Bayne here, I think she's like dead in the. I don't want to say dead in the water,
I wouldn't
but
say
it's
that.
like it's just different.
Okay. If she were to lose to Toni Storm on some fucking inside cradle schoolboy, she then just she was the monster of the month. She beat the hell out of Tony. She beat the hell out of Chris Statlander twice, just to do that. And then it's like, okay, do you put her on a losing streak and then she loses her mind and she turns back up on some like. Or monster doesn't realize her potential, hits a gear they didn't have before, and then she blows through the rest of the division like later on. You could do that, but like you did that with Nyla. It's been enough years have passed that you could do that again. But I'm just saying, like that's a pro wrestling booking trope with monsters. Is they underachieve and then something happens, they lose their mind, they get angry, mad, and then they blow through people and they're dominant. So I mean, another example is like Hall of Fame Mark Henry. So for me, it's like, I don't think there's a wrong answer for whoever wins this match. I'm just here to see an entertaining match. Like, what the match is going to be? It's going to be babyface in peril. Like, I mean.
And you mentioned about Statlander, like, it wouldn't be like a bad, like, she had to do them, she had to lay down twice for her. She could easily win the Owen Hart and then Megan, the champion's waiting for her. And this is like Statlander's longtime reward. I don't know. Like, that's something you could do with it, but I think Toni is like, I think Toni's kind of earned her way on the All In. Well, I don't know how you do that and take the belt off of her. So
just have three women's matches on the show.
I mean,
I know. Look, what I will say is this. I'm not mad with whatever decision they make with it. As long as they give me the match, the monster versus babyface champion match, regardless of the winner, I don't care. Like, like it's set in place for the crowd to go to live and die with that match. Because how much they love Toni Storm and how dominant and dangerous Megan Bayne has proved herself to be in her short time here in AEW. I feel like they, similar to what I said with Megan, not Megan, but Toni Storm and Mariah is like, Toni is not at the point where like she has the crowd in the palm of her hands and like regardless of whatever they do, like it's gonna be over because of how much this crowd loves her. So yeah, like they can take them on that ride emotionally, and like I think those two will still have a good match regardless of just the I want living and dying by the result, which is the magic of pro wrestling anyway. But like I think like those two together are going to have just a great classic babyface in peril match, and I don't care who wins, just give me the match.
I want some accordion level back breaking German suplexes in this match. I want Toni Storm kicking out a biblical shit like in this match. Like kick out the razor's edge from the top rope, like like that. So it is very it's very tough for me to pick against Megan Bayne here, but I think I'm going to do it.
I mean that'd be a smart money. They bring her in.
I'm going to pick Toni Storm, but look, I would take it in the heart. Look, if they're going to put it on Meg, I'm riding. I'm ready. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So, three-way match for the International Championship. A match made for yours truly. Kenny Omega versus Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Bailey. This should be a laser light show. I don't think Kenny Omega's be hobbling around in this match. There's going to be V-triggers for sale. There's going to be feet for sale, roundhouses, spinning back kicks, whatever the fuck Speedball Mike Bailey going to pull out. Ricochet going to be flying out of the air into both of those things. And, I think, look, Kenny, here's your chance. If you want your 5-star three-way match, this is it. This is it. All right, Michael Jackson, this is it.
So, this match, as you mentioned, is going to be a lot of feet, a lot of knees, and one ball head. I think this match is going to be great. It's going to be great. They're going to be doing stuff that I haven't even, considered that, people are going to try to do in a match. I think it's going to be one of those. And, yeah, so it's going to be a blast. Obviously, Kenny Omega retains. But yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It really is. And I think it sits same thing for Megan Bayne, potentially. Like the challengers in this match, it sits them in a place where it's all right, they had their killer match, but potentially they lose and they're announcing the Owen participants or the whole bracket for both of them on Wednesday. So they're probably gonna be left off. So it's they lose, they'll have time to recover and figure something else out to do, and pick up the pieces amongst that. But I just like the kind of way they set up, the potential challenges that are going to post this. They could easily spin off into Ricochet and Bailey, and Speedball because of one of them screwed the other one out of the match and they just continue their feud elsewhere away from the title. Easily do that. In worst case, it works, with Megan Bayne, she loses, she could be the reason why, Willow and Stat, reunite. It could be. There's tons of stuff for both of them, even if they lose. I actually like what they've done with these challengers.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see Kenny Omega Ricochet in a big company. I know they got the PWG match from 2014.
There's still time because this is trios or this is a three-way.
Yeah, so hopefully they spin it off. But yeah, I'm taking Kenny here to retain. And singles match for the AEW World Championship: Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland. A lot of stuff buzzing around this match. A lot of I feel moving parts that are designed to like jingling keys, essentially, that's make me look in different directions and shit. You're seeing Hangman and Swerve interacting on screen together, just from a couple weeks ago, kind of building it up, and where it looked like they would just miss each other. Swerve didn't take too kindly when he heard Hangman say he was going to ruin, make sure he wasn't going to win this shit. He did go face to face, Swerve with Moxley in the ring, for a long kind of extended promo where there was a Will Washington special in this promo. The whole thing with the spitting the line back up that he said to Cena, back in the day. That feel like that was Will. But yeah, this was they needed something face to face, and this is the first time someone's ever really called Moxley out like that, and essentially was I know you ain't talking about me. You talking about all these people that ain't fit to wear the championship. You not fit to wear the championship right now. Mm-hmm. Look at yourself. Look what you become, essentially. And I thought Moxley actually held his own. This was the first time I seen a Moxley promo where it was oh, okay, there's a little something here.
It's the first inspired Jon Moxley promo in 6 months. Thanks. This guy was this guy for my money was the best promo in the business, and in 6 months, nothing. Fuck. And I'm getting it as a heel. Jesus.
Yeah. So this was on a short build. The Hangman thing is really for me now is hanging over this match. No pun intended. I feel like shenanigans are afoot. I think as much as I would love to come on here and say I think it's Swerve's time, and I feel like it should be. You look at these tickets moving into buildings across the country right now at the pay-per-view. We know what the fans want. We know what the people need.
Well,
we know how they're acting right now.
Well, you know what?
You can fix it all. You can have it all right now, Tony Khan.
I'll even add to it, right? When Adam Page was doing the whole telling Swerve he'll never win the AEW World Title, he got himself suspended, and it didn't happen necessarily on his watch because he was suspended. He was away, and he had to come back into the Owen to be like, I'm coming back, and I'm finna stop this shit. He just ultimately failed. Like it would be so good if he came out there to try to fuck Swerve, and that man end up pulling like the SummerSlam '97. He goes out there. He goes to try to hit Shawn, and he fucks around and hits Undertaker. So he goes to hit Swerve. He actually hits he ends up hitting Moxley instead, and that cost him the title. And then okay, well, he has to go into the Owen, and he has to deal with the wrath of the Death Riders to get back to get to Swerve to try to hit the title off him. That would be fun. That would be really
fucking
fun.
Hilarious. That would be fucking hilarious. Bro.
I will fucking scream, howling, dying, laughing.
Bro, from a character standpoint, I would laugh at Heyman Page so hard. I'm like, that is fucking hilarious. Like, you loser. Like,
that nigga would go into a fucking fetal position, just shocked. Like, I failed again, and I made this nigga the champion. That's me. That's me editorializing that. He can't say this nigga's won a title because we got to take him off TV. But you know what I'm saying? He's like, I can't believe that I'm the reason why this motherfucker's champion again. He's 2-time champion. I only won it once.
Oh, crazy.
Oh my God. He would lose it. Like, his next video will be in a fucking dark room.
Yes. One light.
Oh man,
that would be funny as fuck.
That would be the funniest fucking
they should do that.
I know. That's why I said it. Because you know, John. If you told John Moxley he needs to lose, he'll be like, "I need an excuse. Here's your excuse." Yeah. Bow. Get him over the head with a chair. Fuck off,
bro.
Go down the card.
Bro, that'd be so funny. Be like, yeah, nigga, you kept this belt in a briefcase for 6 months and lose it like this? Hilarious.
Yep. Like all this interference you were doing to protect this belt, and you didn't know the interference is going to eventually cost you. Yeah, it's all poetic. It all goes together. Yeah, funny. Get all this shit out of here. Yes.
I don't think we're going to be that lucky though, man. I think we're going with. I think we're going with he's going to try, and I think it's going to backfire or it's not going to backfire, but it's going to be like, damn, I fucked it up, and then the Death Riders will still like it's going to be two niggas out there furious after this shit, while John Moxley sneaks away again.
Look. This is what I'll say. We'll see it. We'll have a better idea after Wednesday whether or not Darby Allin is or is not on the Owen lineup. If he's not,
I mean,
them odds go up.
I mean, you know, they always got the wild card person on there, so they could just make him the wild card and then announce everybody else. So
nasty.
They could easily do that. I think I saw some. I think I saw somebody advocate for Jay White to be in the finals of the Owen. My question was for what?
Why?
Would you burn a Hangman Ospreay match for the finals?
Why do people still think that Jay White is on this level of Hangman Page or Will Ospreay? Why are people like? I understand it when you were watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? Like. But we're watching All Elite Wrestling, and like there's nothing in Jay White's tenure that would lead you to believe that he's on the level of Ospreay or Adam Page or has the kind of crowd connection either. What are we doing?
earn a Osprey Hangman match for the Owen final?
I mean, I don't expect.
Or would you save that?
I say you just blow it off because the next time they wrestle might be a year from now.
Yeah, they seem to not like necessarily get near each other. So I think a tournament final is as good a time as any to break the glass on that.
Right.
Give them the start of the show with no time limit too.
Right.
So
and also, right, the way people have this fervor for Swerve and Hangman, y'all it don't really matter if it's the first match or not, because you're asking at this point now for people are begging for the All In Texas main event to be what, Swerve and Hangman 4 or 5? Is it 4 or 5? Would that be 4?
It'd
be 5. The draw
5.
It'd be 5.
That would be 5.
Yeah. So no. They wouldn't have to worry about, oh my God, we burn out our fan base. It won't draw. It would draw because Swerve and Page would draw for the 5th one inside of 2 years.
Yeah, I think Darby's going to be coming off that mountain, and I don't think I've seen anything that makes me think they're diverting from the plan. They were going to do it. They've had plenty of opportunities. I think they weren't going to change course for Kenny Omega basically coming back. They weren't going to change course for pretty much. I feel like promises have been made. Unfortunately,
it's a shitty unearned story because Darby hasn't actually been chasing Moxley. He's been away off TV for months. Yeah. It'd be one thing if he was chasing him and he's been ducking and he's failed or he's been getting screwed or they were ducking him. No, he won that match with Page, and then he had the match with Moxley. When Moxley said put your foot online, he got talked into it and he beat him.
They did throw him down the stairs in New York City.
How many months ago was that, Rich?
I believe that was in December, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, what month is it now?
It is about to be April by the time everybody's hearing this.
All right, when is that pay-per-view? July?
July.
Okay. And everybody knows that he wasn't, off TV looking at his wounds. He was off TV climbing a fucking mountain.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the way.
It don't work.
It wouldn't be the way for me.
Yeah, no one was out here wanting this. They weren't putting addresses up for you to send mail and fan cards to Darby Allin for his
That's what they should be doing.
His injuries. But
they should do that. They were like, please write in to if you want to.
Was the address in Nepal? Man.
Darby's a transient. As far as I understood, Darby's a transient. He's homeless. You got to send it to the company, and they'll give it to him while he's there. Funny. He is a bum. No.
I like how you took my old school John Mox Dean Ambrose is a transient, is a drifter shit from 2016-17 and moved it on to Darby Allin in 2025.
I mean, that's a part of his ethos.
I know it is. I just never noticed a pattern. That's all.
Same old thing. Yeah, so I'm picking Jon Moxley against my better judgment, but
I'm picking Swerve because if it ain't Swerve, then boy, you asking for it when it comes to your tickets for All In. You are asking for it.
Yeah, if it was me, I'm switching the belt. I'm switching the belt.
This is like the equivalent of Baba seeing all them fucking masks and all that merch that Masao was selling. Nah, we just gonna continue going with Jumbo Ceruta. Nah, man, switch the belt. Fuck out of here. You got a chance to sell out Budokan Hall a bunch of times now. Let's do that. Let's do that instead.
Look, I know what these fans want, and it is if you put 1-on-1 for the world belt, this time we're gonna do it for the world belt, clean match 1-on-1 for them two. You haven't ever sold that,
right?
And you do it with a clean win for one of them. I think that's enough to make people be like, here, part with my money.
Right.
I'm flying to Arlington. And if they decide to do something else, People may still part with their money, right?
Like because you can put Ospreay in that spot. You can absolutely put Ospreay in that swerve spot, but you cannot put Jon Moxley in that spot and expect it to do as well. You can't. Not in 2025 at this point right now after what we saw the last 6 months. No.
Yeah, it's hard to make an argument for Moxley. Like I just don't know what it would be, except you feel like you want to be loyal to this guy. That it comes down to something sentimental for Moxley there. Other than that, it's like, what do you see Jon Moxley doing when he drops his belt? Whenever it happens, it's like I know what Swerve was doing when he dropped the belt last time, and it was like, what else do we see for him besides going away?
Getting people over, you mean?
Is he gonna like fight his group members or what? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So it's like there's not that much for him on the other side. So it's like, why are we waiting?
Right.
Let's move the promotion on. Like, fuck. So, I don't know. Dynasty, more matches to be added, presumably. Probably a tag team title match. A lot of people that don't have matches announced right now. So, Kazuchika Okada, what are you doing?
Yeah, remember when they did the whole Hurt Syndicate versus Outrunners, where they teased like they were going to get to...
Yeah.
Where they teased like they were going to get to the Archer and Brian Cage thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that, but like right now they're doing the big Bill and Brian Keith thing, and like that'd be a fun match. You know who's going to depend on that, but that could be a fun match. So yeah, like they gotta figure out like what.
Kyle Fletcher, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, so they got a couple things for people to do because Kesh not on this thing either.
Nope.
So
there's a lot of folks.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mercedes is doing. Probably Athena. They'll probably put on this show.
That's what they should do. And that match,
like they can make it like
because they've been they've been friends. They've been wanting to like wrestle each other since the days of WWE Evolution.
Yeah, and I think there's some interesting booking that might be tied to that because there's a lot of factors I think you could use to get additional matches, and especially like
this. Is it this weekend?
The current Genesis is usually around my birthday. If I had to guess,
that's why I thought about that. Yeah, because like someone mentioned the thing, I was like, oh yeah, that is this time of year. It's like it's this weekend or next weekend, gotta be. Basically,
so like
how it goes.
They both got championships, so presumably each match could be for a championship, and then they could do a match for no championship if you make them face each other in the Owen Hart tournament, which they're both are in. So I think with all those matches, like you could easily do Mercedes wins an Owen, Mercedes qualifies for our always title match, Athena wins our always title match, but by winning that, she's like, yo, I want a shot at your belt now, and then whatever. Like you can easily do it like that, but I don't know which way they're going to go with it, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of like playing around between them to accommodate all the titles they have.
Yeah. Like at some point they have to get the TBS title off of Mercedes before like she loses belts to anyone else. Like her first loss needs to happen in AEW before she loses like the strong belt. So
yeah,
and like quite frankly, like this needs to happen not because she needs to lose. It needs to happen because they're paying her all that money. She needs to be the number one champion of the women's division. Like she needs to be the AEW World Champion or Women's World Champion, not the TBS Champion.
Yeah.
So it needs to happen sooner rather than later at the rate that she's having these killer matches. So
speaking of that, she did get announced for a match with Azumi, I believe, or I think they're doing they're doing Mina and Azumi in Chicago, but I think Azumi's going to win, and then Resurgence probably will be Azumi and Mercedes. Probably my most anticipated match for her so far. So kind of like, for the Stardom folks.
Okay. I mean, because they've been teasing that for a while back. Remember, because that was originally supposed to happen. And then they turned it into the trio with Azuki in it. And then people got really mad when I said that like Azumi and Azuki are better workers than her because
they did.
They are. So no shade against Mercedes. She's the best American woman we've ever produced, but like they're just different levels. And like you watch that match, it's like, yeah, there's different levels. But yeah, I love to see them finally have that singles match. And Rich, I don't know if we talked about this earlier today, but like the Yokohama Arena show, some main event seemingly going to be Starlight Kid and Azumi. And Rich, this is going to be the first time where they get put in a match and like they're going to be gunning for 5 stars. They've never been put in that situation before. They've been just put in the semi-main event, and when they've been put in the semi-main event, they just went out there and got 4 3/4. This finally they're trying to go out there and go get that 5-star match, and we've been like, they're destined to go do this. They finally had a chance to reach their destiny, Rich.
This is going to be a big match. Big show. I can't wait for that show.
Oh my God.
That's going to be like, is that the same day as WrestleMania that show is happening?
No. It is the weekend after.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's the 27th.
That's going to pack that show the fuck up. Oh my God, yeah. WrestleMania is going to be terrible. It's going to be bad.
Rich, the semi-main event is the main event is Tam and Saya in basically a retirement match, in a double retirement match. Loser retires. In theory.
Mayu Iwatani versus Shuri.
Shuri, exactly.
Yeah.
After the match they had at the beginning of last year, that was the best women's match. That, in my opinion, that was the best women's match I saw last year. Like, I thought it was better than this Saraya Mayu match, and that match was fucking incredible. Like, so yeah, man, they have the chance to have 3 matches that could all potentially like get 5 stars on that show. And then the tag match is Ida and Hannah versus FWC. You know FWC gonna go out there and try to get them their best match of their careers, because that's a stars match. That show's gonna be fucking low. That card is like, we'll talk about it when we get to it. And we'll do on the when we get past WrestleMania. But that man, Stardom finna break their foot off in. They finna have an all-time show. And I'm so happy because last year's edition of that, I broke my foot off and they asked me like, this is not what we were sold on compared to the first show that was in 2023. And they were like,
it's not the star.
It was Star. Was like, nah, man, don't put that name on that show if you're gonna put this out there after that all-time show you put in 2023. This is appropriate. This 2025 shows are absolutely appropriate. That's gonna be one of the 10 best shows of the year.
North said AEW has to have an offer match on there. If they were to do an AEW offer match, who would you have?
Send Mercedes again, or not send Mercedes. Bring Mercedes so she does what she did or so she can have a match like she did in 2023. She's strong champion. Why not?
Who's she bringing with her?
Herself and I.
No, I'm saying like if you.
No, I didn't mean myself and I joke about just her. Nah.
Yeah.
Just bring her for now. I mean, because they can bring Mariah if she's still on a contract with AEW. I'm not sure. They can obviously bring Megasis back. There's people. They can bring Toni Storm, because Toni Storm had a match with Mayu at the end of last year when she was on the break after she lost the belt. There's people with Stardom connections up and down the AEW stuff.
And we're Starwin with a question: when will it be Willow's time to ascend? Top of the promotion, babyface potential, just chilling in the side quests. She has been locked up in all the side quests. I know she did have injury issues towards the end of last year, but it just seems like, these belts have been locked up largely between Tony and Mercedes, and they did not plan on changing those. So, like, we always talk about it's competitive in women's wrestling. Like, there's no place to really send people, like, if they're not the champion. Right. So it's like she's kind of got to wait it out, I think.
So what I would say to them is they should pull up the Tokyo Joshi Pro, or should pull up the Russell Universe and watch her match versus Miyu Watanabe from their big show from like last month. Like if you just want to get your fix of Willow Nightingale being great, you got that.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's probably like, who I think, she's slightly under Tony as far as popularity. Like everybody goes crazy whenever she comes out, and I think she's gonna have to wait it out between, like the person I would want her to beat is Mercedes. The best dynamic is Mercedes being a heel and her being a baby face. Like I don't necessarily like see her like I don't necessarily would need to see her win it from Tony or anything. It just wouldn't.
It don't hold the same weight because obviously we saw Willow at her best and this crowd loved her the most when she was opposite Mercedes. Like
right.
Watching those at the time was like, oh, like Mercedes may have found her long-term rival in this company, and like in another part is like she may have found her like her Bailey, her next Bailey, where it's like this person like. She is this mountain this person has to climb. And when she does, people are just going to lose their minds. People are going to remember most fond moments of like Mercedes / Sasha is going to be with like the Bailey stuff or potentially the Willow stuff. Like people want to see, these great stories tied to Mercedes. And Mercedes isn't necessarily a great storyteller as far as building up the drama and tension to get you to want to see her matches. She's just really great once that bell rings. And the moments that have been exceptional with her as far as storytelling stuff are the ones are few and far between, but those are the ones you remember. And she had that with Willow. She hasn't necessarily had that with Stat, but the Stat matches went the fuck off.
Right. And it's like you can do one of those at any time and then call back to them and then position it like it's a big win for Statlander too, if it ever happens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they just main thing is like, for all the great stuff that Statlander and Willow have done together as individuals, they eventually, and I don't mean eventually like in 3 years, within the next fucking year, they need to be rewarded with big wins that feel good wins with championships. Cause I don't want to say deserve, but like they've earned this, cause there were a bunch of people that they put in the ring with Tony Storm or with Mercedes, and it did not go off the way you expected it to. They made the shit work. They're making the shit work with Megasis right now. They're making the shit work with, people actually wanting to see Marina in the ring outside of just being a heater right now. And that's off the strength of the relationship the crowd has with those two.
So Prince Nana is going to get to manage Willow Nightingale. That I find that fucking hilarious. I need some type of skit where he's trying to like sell her something, and then she's like, I don't really know how to tell him no. But then Swerve walks up and is like, hey, come here. Like,
I just need to know, like, before it was like Willow kept saving white people, and I was sick of it. Now it's like, oh, so the real story, it wasn't just white people. It was like, Willow's just nice. She'll help anybody because she's a nice person on Earth. Like I like that. I like that story better than she's just running just a hug on any white person to help them out. I hated that shit. It's like, stop that. Stop being the black best friend. Damn it! I fucking hate this. You are a main character. You don't hear this crowd clap when you clap. They love you. Damn it!
They even clap on beat for you.
Oh shit.
The influence.
Rich. I went to Sunday's Rays Rockies game with Dan Coffin, friend of the show, and during the walk up, or also just want to give you a quick experience. So it was like a 6-4 baseball game. The game only lasted 2 hours and 40 minutes. Bro, the pitch clock was the greatest thing they've ever done with baseball, bro. Bro, 5 years ago, that's a 3 hour and 15 minute game at best. So anyway, the walk-up music and the in between up and down or half of innings, like they were just playing like EDM or whatever else, and like crowd's clapping, and they clapping on that 1 and that 3. And the first thought was Rich. I know Rich is here. He be on their ass right now. He be on their ass.
I've never had an issue like I've tried to clap on a 1 and 3, and that shit like is almost like impossible. Like it's like it don't quite like it's like I just default to the 2 and the 4. Like it's just something there.
I know why it happens on EDM because it's like some EDM ain't got no snare, no clap
on the floor.
It's 4 on the floor, and they don't, and like some of that stuff don't have like claps or snares on the 2 and 4, so they just immediately go to what they know. You're like, that 1 just feels like home for them, and it just keep going. Yeah, but anyway,
interesting.
But yeah, once you said they clap on B, I was gonna say this shit for off of the stream, but I had to mention it to you. Yeah, but yeah, man, they got to do something for Willow and Stat. They got to.
Amazing, man. But yeah, we should probably wrap it up here. I guess I should probably address the elephant in the room. So like Swerve did an interview on Vlad TV. The whole thing has not been published yet. I believe it's in part 7 since it's published. I believe in watching the entire thing before you draw conclusions from it, since the whole thing is not fully released. I think that I should wait. I should hold off on comment, but not everyone agrees with me. There are some people already responding, like AJ Francis is doing a bunch of passive aggressive shit with different interviews he's done. Well, I know for sure he didn't watch the whole interview. You can just see in the stuff he said. Booker T and Swerve are going at it right now currently. It's kind of all breaking shortly before we went on air. So I'm going to let that thing kind of breathe because I am kind of close to the situation here. But, Swerve stand on everything he says. I know that. So, you can take it from me. So, yeah, we wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for listening, y'all. That's the end of the show. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the podcast once it's up, go to the show notes, and go to the Red Circle link and you donate there. Be sure to go to Chop Tees and go to the One Nation Radio section and get you some One Nation Radio merch. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Imp's WWE Adventure. Ooh, that's a doozy right now this time of year. The Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, Tunnel Talk, and Wrestling Art with Chris Things. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
King of the North said he wanted Anna Jay back to start, and I gotta say, he will burn in hell. He will burn in hell when I'm through with him.